been lit, boy. Everything goes.
We now return you to regular programming.
Happy Sunday morning, guys, and we have a nice podcast today that we are doing. Usually don't do them on a Sunday, but we have a special guest on today. We're actually going across the pond and talking to Mark Summer Sampson from the UK. Mark, it's actually good afternoon for you, good morning for us.
It's very early for us.
How's everything in the UK this morning?
Yeah, you're right. Yes, it's 3 p.m. or no, still 2ish in Britain, in England. Amazingly, we've got gorgeous weather. It's a little bit changeable, shall we say, to put it bluntly, in Britain. Like yesterday, we had thunderstorms and hail and bouncing off the floor and literally torrential rain today. Yeah, Today hardly a cloud in the sky. I'm looking at gorgeous blue skies above me. I'm sat outside talking to you. So if you can hear wildlife and birds whistling, that's why.
Well, you know what's funny? 2 years ago, my wife and I, we went over to Ireland for the first time ever.
Okay.
And it was our anniversary, and the way everyone talked was prepare for rain every day. So we packed an abundance amount of clothes, and we only had 2 days of rain out of the 12 days we were there. It was so weird.
You were lucky. There's no. It's not a. Just a chance thing that Ireland is so green. Let's put it that way. They get a lot of rain.
Absolutely beautiful over there.
Oh, you did well then.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get into some things with Mark. Mark, the thing I love about Mark is, and we just met not too long ago, is he's a huge Cowboys fan.
Yeah, so I'm definitely outnumbered
right
now.
But what I want to talk about first, Mark, is right now the UK is at 294,000 cases of the coronavirus. You guys had 1,400 new cases yesterday. How has it been in the UK as far as living with the coronavirus?
Weird.
Yeah.
Is the one-word answer. Very weird. I mean, for instance, I suppose I could have been affected worse, but I've been working from home. I'm normally an office-based worker. I work for a government department over here. But our office literally closed, I think it was March the 23rd.
Wow.
I've had a sort of quite modern laptop and got other bits and bobs because of my grade, but then other people have been having to be supplied laptops from our big IT department. So basically, I'm kind of been in a privileged position to being able to access all the systems that I could do in the office from home.
Yeah.
But it's been weird. Yeah. I mean, like I say, since March the 23rd, basically, I've just been working from home, and as everybody else has, really.
And do you guys have to wear masks? Because here we have to wear masks. I mean, it's starting to become optional, but businesses can not allow you to come in if you don't wear one.
The businesses aren't doing that so much. It's kind of a personal choice still. They are advising more now because they've relaxed the lockdown a little bit in the sense of using public transport more. You know, public transport's been running, but hardly anyone's been using it, or everybody basically has been, unless they're in an essential sort of job, like in the medical industry, or a nurse or something like that, or sort of a delivery person, an essential worker as they call them over here.
Yeah, that's what they call them over here.
Yeah. Basically, people have been asked to wear masks and that, not for basically to stop. It's not really, as we're told, not to stop you getting it. It's to stop you spreading it if you've got the symptoms or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, you do see people. I mean, personally, I've never worn one. But it's a kind of commonsensical sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a really scary subject. Yes, it's a serious subject. Of course it is. But I think there is a little bit of paranoia with some people equally. If you watch your P's and Q's, you watch what you do, you keep your distance, your social distance, you wash your hands regularly, you don't put yourself in awkward positions, you're going to be safe. You've just got to be sensible about it, basically.
And I was laughing the other day with him. I said, it's funny, it took a pandemic to persuade people to be clean.
Wash your hands.
Oh, I know. Ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And also, if there are any good things come out of all of this, people are exercising more now because it's almost like letting a dog out for a walk kind of thing. I can go out for an hour.
Yeah, I work at a sports store right now, and all of our bikes are sold out. All of our weights are sold out. When we get kayaks in, they're gone in minutes. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, before the epidemic even started, I'd been putting a bit of weight on, to be honest. You don't do stones, do you? Do pounds? So forgive me, I don't do just pounds. But anyway, I was up to nearly 17 stone, which I was feeling a little bit chubby, shall we say, and started a conscious effort to start eating better and exercising, and joined a gym, which sod's law got closed after 4 sessions, just as I was starting to enjoy it with the epidemic.
So when you guys measure each other's weights, you guys use stones rather than pounds?
Yeah,
that's
it's
very
14
interesting.
pounds in a stone. Yeah,
oh, okay,
14
look at
pounds in a
that.
stone.
You learn something new every day.
But
That's
see,
incredible.
I think it would be a compliment to say, "Hey, man, you put a lot of stones on instead of pounds." You know what I mean?
Well, it all depends what you want, I suppose, in life.
That's funny. That's cool.
Now, as far as the UK with sports, how has that the COVID affected the sports industry, and is it bouncing back?
Everything's been wiped out. Next week, when you was talking about, as you put it, soccer, we call it, our football.
Football, yeah.
Basically, the Premiership starts again next week after being laid off since it was all stopped back in again, March sort of time. So that's all got to be resolved tail end of the season. Equally, my division, my team in, I'm originally from Nottingham.
Okay.
So I support Nottingham Forest, famous particularly back in the 70s, and that we won 2 European Cups, or the Champions Leagues it would be now, back to back.
Wow, that's cool.
With Brian Clough. I don't know if you've ever heard of Brian Clough.
No, I haven't. No.
Famous manager back in the day. And get everybody to start Googling it and then see. And so, yeah, my team's in the second tier, or the Championship as they call it, and they also start next Saturday on the 20th. That division starts playing football again. Closed stadiums, but yeah, they're starting playing again.
Yeah, I was trying to look at that before we came on. Like, you guys have so many different levels of soccer over there. You have the elite, and then you have like the Champions League, all these different leagues. Are those almost like, is it like the minor leagues? Like over here we have minor league systems for our professional teams. Is that what that's like?
It's not really. No, I mean, they're all professional leagues, but it's different levels of it, just standard of plays and stuff like that. And all the teams like around Europe do a similar thing. Basically in Britain, well, in England, because it's different in Scotland and it's different in Ireland as well. But basically in England, you've got the Premiership, which is the top flight. Everybody wants to be in the Premiership because that's where the big bucks is for television rights and et cetera, and sponsorship and all that. The next tier down, what my team, Nottingham Forest, are in, is called the Championship. And then you've got 2 lower divisions under that called Division 1 and Division 2. And then below that are what they call non-league divisions, where that's not the classed as professional teams in that, but that's quite lower tier then, your sort of smaller grounds, that kind of thing.
Now, could you advance? Could you advance to a different level?
Oh, yeah. I mean, basically, what everybody in the Championship, my division, a team yearns for is to get to the promised land, which is the Premiership, because you get there and immediately television rights, you get given about £200 million or something like that into the coffers for the club.
Interesting.
And then obviously you'll get more sponsorship deals, and that, cause everybody, as I say, wants to be in the Premiership. That's the promised land with football in this country.
And now I'm just curious, do you play FIFA at all? Because I don't know a whole lot about soccer, but I will happily whoop you in FIFA.
Let me tell you this, you would definitely whoop me in FIFA because I am useless.
You know what's funny,
Let's put it
though?
this way. My gaming ended at PS2.
Oh, wow.
Because they invented toggles, and that was my gaming finished.
And now, like, I'm not huge into soccer, but I love watching the World Cup for the women's. I don't know what it is, but like, I love watching
our girls did really well the last time. The Lionesses is the nickname.
I love watching that.
You know why it's so easy for us to watch the UK women's, not the men? Because the women are always there at the end.
Yeah,
that's true.
But you know what? Soccer over here is just starting to get bigger with the MLS.
Oh, it's getting massive, isn't it, with MLS? Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but you know what? Nobody talks about how fit soccer players are. I mean, to be out there for so long, running around.
Oh, I would die.
You don't substitute often. Those guys are in the best shape ever compared to all of them.
I always remember one of my heroes back in the day, and obviously it was a big thing for getting the MLS sort of more publicity, was David Beckham. He was always one of my heroes for England and all that sort of thing, you know. And I always remember him being a midfielder. They basically studied him one time of how much distance he covered in a whole match on the field. and he basically run a marathon.
Wow.
26 odd miles. Yeah.
That is insane.
I mean, I think about I play baseball. We'll do suicides, which is you run the field back and forth, and after like 3, you're out of breath already because you're not used to constantly running up and down the field. I know that's crazy. That's crazy.
But yeah, I remember reading it somewhere and I was thinking, obviously being a midfielder, you're all over the pitch, sort of thing. Excuse the aircraft going over if you can hear that.
Oh, no, it's okay.
But yeah, it was round about a marathon, 26 something miles. Yeah, in a football match.
That's crazy when you think about that. That is insane.
All right, quite a bit, isn't it? Really.
All right. Who of the premier soccer teams? Who do you think is the most favored over there? I mean, you have Chelsea, you have Manchester United, you have Liverpool, Arsenal. Who's the go-to team if we were to come over there and say I want to buy a jersey?
Oof, blimey. Well, obviously, I'm going to say Nottingham Forest because we're not one of the pretty teams, but we're one of the famous teams in the past. We have history.
Oh,
but
really?
Anyway, no. Seriousness. Oh gosh, any of those big names you've mentioned. To be honest, Manchester City, you forgot to mention them. Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur, maybe. They're your big ones, really. Yeah, your big famous teams in the English Premiership.
Now, what's the hottest ticket over there? Like in football over here, the Cowboys and Eagles. That's a must. That's a rivalry.
Oh God, yeah.
So if you were over there and I was like, hey, I'm coming over, what game would you recommend that we go see that's going to be packed? It's going to be crazy.
You wanted proper rivalry, because as you know, in American football, apart from probably the Eagles and the Cowboys, where it gets a little bit edgy, shall we say, between some fan groups.
Yes.
In American football, you can all sit amongst each other and be fans of different teams, can't you, invariably?
Yeah, I wish you could do that in football.
Well, in soccer, our football, as you would call it, soccer, it's very tribal. So you have to have areas where the away fans are only, and everyone else is a home fan, sort of thing, in your stadium. And so for a real cut and thrust, a bit of hatred, shall we say? I know it sounds awful to say that, but real spicy, shall we say, game. Probably Manchester United v Liverpool because they hate each other.
Wow.
Or Manchester Derby of Manchester City and Manchester United against each other. There's literally rivals all over the place. You could do a London one, which would be Arsenal v Tottenham, because they're both North London teams and they hate each other, bragging rights and all that sort of thing. And even lower divisions, like I say, for my Nottingham Forest, the first match we look for when the season comes out is against a team called Derby County. They're about 15 miles away. They're the next town. We hate each other.
Oh wow!
Now, who does the Queen of
each other.
Who does the Queen of England root for?
I don't honestly know. I know one of the sons is a Birmingham team where I say I was born and lived in Nottingham, but I live in Birmingham now currently.
Okay.
And one of the famous teams in Birmingham is called Aston Villa. And one of I think Prince Edward, I think he's always supported Aston Villa because I think he went to university in Birmingham or somewhere like that sort of thing. So he's always lent towards them.
Yeah, I always love the crowds, man, for soccer.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but the chants and how packed those stadiums get. You could be losing 3-0, those crowds are still going crazy.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Oh yeah, we have chants at Nottingham Forest and traditions and all this sort of thing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We have a song that we sing literally at the start of the match every single time to the tune of Mulligan Tyre. And everybody, they have the music playing for the first time of singing it, and then the music stops, and literally the whole ground just chants sings this song as one. And honestly, I'm just thinking about it now, and I'm getting goosebumps.
That's crazy.
Now, when do you think fans will be allowed back into the stadiums this year at all?
Honestly, couldn't tell you. I tell you what's going to be the biggest thing is not so much of when the English FA and any other FA decides yes you can do it. It's where the fans are going to feel safe to do it.
Yeah, that's what we talked about a few times too.
A personal thing, choice, sort of thing,
Because I think over here in the United States, they're starting to lift a little bit where they're going to say like 25% of the stadiums can be full now. So it's probably going to be like a lottery.
Because I saw something I think I posted on the forum that the one that we'll talk about later, as you said. One Texas governor has said something he'd be happy with 45,000, say in Cowboys Stadium or something like that.
Yeah, and
so roughly half-ish. Sort of thing.
And like even college sports now, they're coming out like the big stadiums like Ohio State and them are saying they're going to allow up to 20 to 50,000 fans in the stadium.
Wow.
I think no concessions though, or either you're going to have to order it on your phone and they deliver it to you. Hopefully, I hope we can see something where we can get back to normalcy more than what we're at now.
What you're saying. Yeah. Well, we've had a little bit of normality today. They've relaxed the rules slightly, again, now in Britain, and you're allowed to be what they call in a bubble, where you're allowed to sort of see a sort of an allotted person, shall we say. Mm-hmm. And quite bizarrely, on a personal touch, through COVID, it's been a good thing for me. I know that sounds a warped thing to say, but if you hear me out, I've actually met someone and we've started actual dating, whatever.
Look at you.
Because unfortunately, a bit of a sad story. Back in November 2018, I was engaged to someone, and unfortunately, she passed away suddenly.
Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that.
And it's just life, unfortunately. But 2019 was a rough year, as you can imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sort of come out the other side and just felt I was, ready, shall we say. And a friend encouraged me to get on a dating site and met this lady, and we've just clicked, and it's just fantastic. So I'm literally stopping at her house for now, for the foreseeable future, and working from there and everything. And
that's awesome.
Great for you, and everything's going great. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, hey,
good time, thankfully.
One of the things that's going on in the United States right now is all the rioting and the protesting over the George Floyd thing and Black Lives Matter. It's a very, very sad thing because there is a lot of police brutality in this country. Things are out of control. But it has reached your side of the pond. The protesting, which is shocking. Mm-hmm. How has that been over there as far as the protests?
It's terrible what's been happening. Of course, obviously don't condone it at all. It should never happen, all this sort of thing, but it does, unfortunately, still. And as you say, I know we don't get to hear everything, but you hear vibes that in some states in America it's worse than others, and all this sort of thing. Still, not naming any names, sort of thing. But it's come over here. Now, I think just as not just over the pond to us, it's just like almost become like a bit of a worldwide solidarity kind of thing, a movement. The only problem is with anything, it's great that thankfully in our country and your country and a lot of other countries, you have the right to protest, free speech and all this sort of thing. But unfortunately, with anything like that, you always do seem to get people who, to put it bluntly, just want to kick up with the police or the authorities and get themselves mixed in with everything else just to use an excuse to loot or just basically have a fight, basically, and just be a bit anarchy-wise, sort of thing. And obviously then that invariably, determines on some press how they report it, that everyone's a bad person.
And
the
media is annoying.
You kind of lose the point of what everybody was there for, or 95 or 99% of the people were there for, because everybody concentrates suddenly on a policeman, which is awful, being hit in the face, or a police horse being chucked a flare at, or, all that kind of thing, whatever. But no, it's really come massively over here in a lot of different cities. All over the UK, there's been protests and stuff like that. Invariably on the peaceful side. I think it's only been in London where it's kind of kicked off a little bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, we were saying, I want to say last podcast, that when's the last time we saw something happen in our country that basically the whole world is standing for now? I think that's kind of it's kind of an incredible thing to see, honestly.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's been a really weird 2020 with the COVID virus, with the protester.
Bryant.
Yeah,
I think that may be part of the thing, It's kind of brought... It's weird, again, it's a horrible situation, I keep saying that, but it has kind of brought some good things out in people.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I said that.
And you just kind of hope it will stay like that for a while, when it all gets better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I said
looking
too,
out for each other and all that kind of thing.
What's nice is we were in quarantine here for a lot of us for 3 months. Some of us are still in quarantine. And I said what's nice is you get to spend quality time with family. You know, you don't have work and other distractions in your life right now. People are figuring out life. You know, what job do they truly want to pursue, and just figuring things out.
Well, I'll tell you. Well, as things getting easier and, like you say, slowly getting back to normality, had the most exciting experience this morning, guys. We remembered a McDonald's drive-in near to my girlfriend's was open today. Oh, honestly. We rushed down there. It's a wonder the brakes are still not glowing on my car. We got down there, and I had my first Big Mac of 2020.
You know what's amazing?
It was a beautiful experience. I'm telling you now, I'm salivating again to think about it.
The fast food places around here, like the Wendy's, the Chick-fil-A, the McDonald's, the Burger King, they need.
Do you have the Whataburger, something burger?
Whataburger?
Like that? Do you have them?
That's down south.
Yeah, we're up north.
Oh,
But-
I had them in Dallas. Oh my God.
Yeah, it is good though. I know we know what you're talking about though.
But these places here, they're so packed in the drive-through that they need police there for control of the traffic.
Way.
Yeah.
Serious?
Yes.
Now, do you guys have Chick-fil-A there? Because that's a big one here.
Oh no, I've never even heard of that one. No.
Oh man.
I mean, the biggest chicken thing over here is KFC. You know,
Well, I was
years,
just gonna
obviously.
ask, do you at least have Popeyes or KFC?
I've never seen a Popeye. Whether they have them in London, I don't know. But I've never seen one in Birmingham.
But you know what's different? Your menu, your McDonald's menu over there is a lot different than ours. Like,
Oh yeah.
when we were in Ireland,
Yeah.
you guys have the wraps, the whole 9 yards. We don't have that over here.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. We have like loads of different things. Yeah. And then they have certain sort of periods where they'll push a certain thing. You know, like a celebrity burger thing,
Yeah.
or a different kind of burger, or like you say, wraps and things like that.
And now is a Big Mac your go-to choice if you're going to McDonald's?
You see, it never used to be. I'm a very late person to the Big Mac phenomena. I literally had my first Big Mac early 2019.
Oh wow!
Wow.
I'm more of
And
like
that's a shock, I
a
know.
20-piece type of guy. You know, get some nuggets and dip them.
I used to go for many things. Like I used to like the fillet of fish. Do you have that in America even?
No, I don't think we have that.
the filet fish, yeah, we do.
Do we?
Oh.
Yeah, we have that.
Do you?
Yep.
And then the McChicken sandwich.
Yeah, that's
like
good.
That. I just go with them kind of thing, you know, or like 20 nuggets. Sometimes if I'm feeling particularly porky.
It's very cheap too, so it's nice. You know, just drive up, get a good
Oh
meal.
yeah. But no, a friend said, "Have you ever had a Big Mac?" And I was like, "No," and he was like, "Are you kidding me? You've got to this age in life and you've never had a Big Mac?" And so I had one, and completely was in a big mess because I got no idea how to eat such a big burger and all that sort of thing. It was just everywhere.
As good as it
so
is, I
had to
feel
be
like trash
educated how
afterwards.
to hold a Big Mac. Yeah.
Well, Mark, we got to get into the best thing about you, and you're a Cowboys fan. How has that come about? And you have a whole Cowboys nation on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be bizarre this when I tell you how I get it, because what you've got to think is, how do you get into a sport when you don't know anybody that's into the sport? If you know what I'm saying, you know, because back to the football, our football, soccer. I'm a Nottingham Forest fan for two reasons. One, I was born in Nottingham, and my granddad was a Nottingham Forest fan. So, you know, he took me to my first matches and et cetera, you know. American football, when I got into it, basically, I'm 54, so people of my age invariably will have got into American football because a new television station in the mid-'80s came on board called Channel 4, and they started showing kind of just different stuff, shall we say, in inverted commas, you know, to get people watching. And they started showing some sport, and they'd show baseball, and they'd show basketball, they'd show sumo even.
Oh wow!
And American football. And I'd heard of American football, obviously, but never watched it, never got into it, never had an avenue to get into it. And I was like, this is kind of cool. You know, I like the razzmatazz, I like the colours, the helmets, you know, all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But how do you choose a team when you know nothing or anyone about it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be bizarre. This is how I got into the Dallas Cowboys and chose Dallas. The opening credits of the soap Dallas. You had shots of Dallas, and one of them was the old Texas Stadium, where a helicopter flew over, and through the hole of the roof, you saw the Cowboys end zone, painted like that sort of thing. And obviously that, I don't know, must have stuck in my psyche or something. And we have a big local fun fair every October in Nottingham when I was then. And I stumbled across a store that sold replica jerseys.
Oh, wow.
And there was a store where literally I just liked the colour of this jersey. It was navy blue, and it just kind of spoke to me with silver numbers. and it was Tony Dorsett, 33,
There it is.
and I bought it, and the rest is history.
I thought for
And
sure
this
you were
is-
going to say it was
this-
because of the Cowboys cheerleaders. They became a Cowboys
No,
fan.
no, seriously, no. I learned about them later and realized I made
That's
the
why
right
I
choice.
became one a long time ago. My grandfather asked me what I wanted for Easter, and I said I wanted a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader in my basket.
For 1 second, then I thought you was going to say you wanted a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader outfit, and that worried me.
No. But you know why the old stadium had that hole in the roof?
So God could watch his team. obviously.
Absolutely.
Duh.
I am curious, real quick, just off topic a little bit. Are the Jaguars really big over there? Because they play a lot over there for the UK games.
They've got a fanship and everything like that, but it's kind of quite. The support of all the teams is quite well divvied out in the UK.
Really?
and
Okay.
Europe. I mean, you'll have teams that are more popular than others. Obviously the Cowboys. Your son's team, the Saints, are quite popular.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Eagles, your Redskins, your 49ers. Who else? And obviously it goes in. What's the word I'm looking for? It goes in like waves because you'll get a certain amount of people who are coming into a sport and they'll follow a team because they're doing well. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So
Yeah,
it
they
goes in
hop on the
cycles, kind
bandwagon.
of thing. Yeah, you'll see a lot more 49ers gear, shall we say, currently because they got to the Super Bowl and some of the Kansas City Chiefs. I've never seen so many Kansas City Chiefs clothing ever. Since the last 2 years or something like that,
And
Suddenly you see them in
are
bobble
those-
hats and stuff like that.
Are those UK games? Are those big over there? Like, is that a big thing to
Oh,
go to?
huge. I mean, they've got to 4 now a year.
Yeah.
And they've been doing 4 a year for the last few years. Every single ground, every single match is a sellout.
Wow.
Awesome.
Now,
And you're talking about 80 to 90,000 people.
Wow.
well, the NFL wants to actually expand and have a team over there. Do you think?
Well, they've been talking about it.
You think
yeah.
that'll take off?
Yeah. You know what? I'd like to think so, but I still think it's possibly early days right now. I tell you what, I think the biggest thing would be, biggest coup, that if the NFL ever did it, but it'd be a lot of like television rights and the timing and all this sort of thing. If they played a Super Bowl at Wembley Stadium, now that would be a big thing.
Oh, that'd be
That
huge.
would be crazy, honestly.
The first ever Super Bowl outside the States, in England, which is probably the biggest market outside the States, sort of thing. Bar Mexico, say, or something like that. But yeah, that would be like a real light stamp to show that you really are serious, kind of thing, maybe.
And you think about how quick that would sell out because you think the fans of that team in the U.S.
jeez.
would want to get tickets, but then the U.K.
Of course it
fans
would.
would be like, I want in too.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be there. Whoever was there, I'd be like a shot. Jesus,
Yeah.
to get to a Super Bowl.
Have you gone to any of those UK games at all?
Oh yeah. I went back in the 80s. They had exhibition games, which were cool because you got to see your team.
Mhm.
But what the downside was, it is because it literally was an exhibition game before the season started. By half time, they were pulling all the big names out. So unless you knew every single starter, every single person on the team, you didn't know who was who, kind of thing, playing. But I went to see the Cowboys played in the very first exhibition game against the Chicago Bears. I think it was in 85 or 86, something like that.
That's actually really cool.
And I went to see that. Then I went to see the next two. I think, if I remember right, it was the Dolphins, 49ers, and after that was the Broncos and the Rams. I went 3 years running.
Wow.
And then they started doing serious games, like I say, where it was actually the season, part of the season. Maybe with one, then they went to a couple. Now, as I say, the last few years they've been at 4. And back in 2014, I think it was, I was at Wembley to see Dallas play the Jags.
Oh, that's
in
awesome.
in a serious game when
Yes.
Romo was playing, and Bryant and all those ones and all that
Tony
sort of thing.
Romo, man. Great
That's
guy.
my favorite
warm.
Cowboy.
Oh, bless you. Well, I've got his jersey and many others. I think I'm up to about 28 jerseys
Oh,
now
wow.
currently.
Wow.
Now there is a very big debate in my house between my dad and my brother. My dad's obviously a big Tony Romo fan. My brother's a big Dak fan. In your opinion, which one have you been leaning on better?
Oh, good question.
Hold on.
God.
Wait. Let me get the mute button ready.
I'll be totally honest with you. I am a Dak lover. I'm a Dak fan, and I've got faith in him. But as we was talking off air before we started doing this about contracts and all this kind of thing, there is a little me that's lost a little bit of love
Gotcha. Me too.
for
I
him
feel that.
over the because he's always been, and I've always liked his ethics and his ethos about the team, of saying that he's a team player and he wants to just win. And there's part of me thinks, well, say, would 25 million be enough? And then that'd leave loads more cap space, and then you could get shit more. Pardon my French.
No, you're fine. They're good.
A lot more weapons for you. If it's more kit in the kitty.
Yep.
But no, it's like, and I know agents getting people's ears and blah blah blah, and it's all about credibility and your place in the market. I get all that. But Dak, for me, and I was talking with a couple of Cowboy friends just a bit like, he's still got to prove that he can put the team on his back and win a game.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. I really do.
I mean,
until he does that and regularly, I'm thinking, is it worth the money? But there again, how difficult it is to get a new quarterback. You don't just pluck one out the draft and he'd be brilliant every single time.
Yeah.
So, anyone who's saying, get rid of him and trade him and blah, 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 no, you're talking out your backside.
Well,
I mean, the red rocket is in your back pocket right now.
We have a good backup, the Red Rocket.
Yeah.
My whole thing is...
This is true. Dalton, yeah.
Look, the thing with Dak is he has a very, very smart agent. He wants a 4-year deal, and they wanted a $35 million 4-year deal because in 4 years, that TV deal's coming up. And they're saying that salaries are going to go through the roof with the new TV deals.
That's why he wants a shorter deal, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Negotiate less years. Yeah, 4 years we want 5 or something like that, isn't it? I think.
Well, the Cowboys don't ever do anything under 5 years unless they're picking up someone for 1 year. But with all their stars, if you look at all the stars over the past how many decades,
it's been a 5-year deal.
Absolutely.
Time, yeah.
I mean, and $110 million guaranteed is a lot of money.
But see, the thing is, Mark,
get you through the day, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, it could get you through a couple years there.
The thing is if they don't sign him this year, you can expect him to play 1 more year on the franchise tag, and then they're going to let him walk because they're not going to pay him $53 million that third franchise tag.
Oh, good God. No, because what you've got to think as well is Mahomes is going to come up because he's already started negotiating.
Oh, that's going to be massive.
And so Watson.
That's going to put. Let's face it, you're going to start at $40 million, aren't you?
Yeah. But that's one of the things. That's one of the things that we hate as sports fans. It's always the next man up. They want the next big deal. But the thing is Dak's not a number 1 quarterback. He's not better than Mahomes. He's probably on Russell Wilson.
Oh God, no.
He's probably equal to Russell Wilson. But
I would put him in the top 10. Is certainly in the 5 to 10.
Yes.
He's not in the top 4 in my opinion.
The thing that aggravates me is I wish Tony Romo was still around because with the weapons he has now, that's there.
Oh, God.
And the line and the defense. Everyone says the defense is going to be horrible. I don't. I think Chris Richard changed how our cornerbacks played because if you look at Chidobe his first year, Chidobe was a lockdown corner.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Cowboys are in great shape.
I think they are too.
Oh yeah. And the fact that it was worrying, but Van Der Esch says he's fine now with his neck, and James Smith is going to come on. I think he's going to shine, and D-Law, I think he wants to prove himself again because he was getting a bit peed off.
And you guys got Gerald McCoy on that defensive line, who's a great player too.
Yeah, and Poe.
Yeah, and Poe.
And if we can get Randy Gregory back, we'll have Randy Gregory, Dorrance Armstrong, we'll have Alden Smith.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weapons there.
No, I think we're in good shape, but quite honestly, I like the fact that people are saying we're going to be crap on the defense. Yeah, okay, let's just see. Let's just shock a few people.
Yeah, see, the people that say that they're crap on the defense haven't been watching the last couple of years. Because we were ranked number 9 last year in defense.
Yeah.
Out of 32 teams.
Well, let's face it. There were some games where they saved us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it certainly kept us in it, shall we say, until we did, wake up, shall we say.
Now, your Cowboys Nation, the UK page, you have over 1,000 followers now, and if you're in the United States and you're a Cowboys fan, jump on board. Do you let Eagles fans on there?
Oh God, no! Screw them. No way. To be honest, and it sounds a bit precious, we literally only let Cowboy fans on there. The reason being, sometimes even Cowboys fans can fight and bicker, and we try, play nice. Basically, we've got 5 rules, sort of thing, but without going into them, the main rule is play nice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be an idiot. Respect other people's opinions. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, whether you agree with it or not. And that can get like a bit sort of, picky between Cowboys fans. So imagine letting other fans in there to wind each other up. No way. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
No way.
Well, we have a couple of our friends that are Eagles fans, and we're only 45 minutes to an hour away from Eagle Stadium. And
Oh, really?
it is tough sometimes being a Cowboys fan on this side of
Oh, I
Pennsylvania.
can imagine.
Especially how close you are to Philly.
I actually went to the Cowboys-Eagles game last year, the last one, and I didn't wear any Cowboys stuff. And I was I was disappointed. When they came out for warm-ups, I said to the people that I went with, I said, Dallas is going to lose this game. The Eagles were so pumped up. It was a playoff game for them.
The Eagles had nothing to lose.
Yeah. The things that they don't show you on TV, like the pregame warm-ups, they were so pumped up. That place was so loud. I'm like, Dallas is in trouble. And we were. We were.
Something about playing something about playing in your home field, though, man. When you're playing your division rival, and they have they have everything to lose. If Dallas lost, they don't make playoffs, and everyone's counting you out. That fuels their fire.
Oh yeah, that's just going to say. Yeah, it's you can't if you can't get pumped up for that, then you can't get pumped up for anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you know what?
You're at your home ground. It means something. You're at a deadly rival night game. Oh no, yeah, you can't get better than that, can you? Let's face it. And we shot ourselves in the foot. We had it there for the taking, and we blew it.
Well, if you look at last year's season, we should have beat Minnesota. We should have beat New England. We couldn't get the job done, and that's my concern about as far as Dak Prescott goes.
You forgot at one. That was the real sickener.
Yeah, the Jets game.
Yeah, that was tough. That was
tough. My God.
But you know what? Darnold don't get enough credit. He's actually a good quarterback. He really is.
Oh, he is. Absolutely.
And they dealt with a lot of injuries last year too. But
yeah, they did. That's true.
I think with the talent that Dallas had, though, I feel like Dallas should have won that.
But you know what? I said last year in the beginning of the season, I said it's going to come down to that last game of the year against the Eagles. That's who's going to win the division. It's this year, everyone's saying it's going to be Dallas and Philly again. Don't count out the Giants. The Giants have a pretty good team.
Oh yeah. Oh, they've been rebuilding. I mean, let's see what their quarterback does. He's got the arm, he's got the skills and everything, and I've forgotten his name now. Their original quarterback. He's been helping him out, and obviously, he's going to be the next generation. So we'll see.
Well, I got another big question for you, Mark. As far as boxing goes, you have the Gypsy Queen, Tyson Fury,
baby,
and you have Anthony Joshua, two of the biggest names over in the UK as far as boxing.
Been waiting for that fight too.
How huge would that be if they had that in the middle of Wembley Stadium?
I got goosebumps thinking about it.
Just start camping out for a ticket now. Basically, I think it'd just be ridiculous.
I'm actually a big, as much as I love Tyson Fury, I'm a huge Anthony Joshua fan. I am.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not massively into boxing, but I do like him, I must admit. Yeah.
And that would, oh my gosh, that would be a sellout. That'd be so packed. You'd make so much money off that fight.
I could easily see that. I could see that being a trilogy fight.
Well, they've actually set up for 2 fights, haven't they, at the moment, I believe? They've signed up for 2 fights.
Yeah, with Wilder, they signed up for 2 fights. That way, it's like a best 2 out of 3, basically, in case Wilder wins again.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury wins again. But
yeah. But going back to the forum and everything like that, it was really cool. It's all right. Bear with me. I've just been asked if I want a coffee or not.
No problem.
5 seconds. No, going to say back to the forum. I was really pleased, obviously, that you discovered me. Because am I okay to talk about the forum a bit more? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, just to I don't know, promote it a bit, shall we say?
Go ahead.
I'll just give you a bit of a history about it. I mean, I didn't set it up. Basically, it was a guy called Chris, who's also a Cowboys fan over here.
Great name.
He kind of set it up about November 2018, and to be honest, because I've told you what's happened in my past and everything like that, I discovered it January 2019, and it came to me at just the right time because it was the perfect distraction that I needed, sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I started posting stories and stuff, and he sort of clicked on my name was being up there a fair bit, and contacted me and said, "Would you like to be an admin on it?" I was like, "Yeah, okay. What does it entail?" And he told me. I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to do that." So I used to post loads of stories.
Awesome.
And then Chris had to sort of take a bit of a backseat because his business in real life sort of took off, and so he basically, although the other people I run it with call it my forum, bless them, it is a democracy. There's 5 of us are admins on it that run it. There's myself, a lady called Rachel, a lady called oh my god, mine's just gone blank. Oh, forgive me. Anyway, another lady who I know she's going to kill me later. Who basically we're all in England, and then we've got 2 guys, Daniel and Caleb. They're 2 American guys, so they kind of like police it when everybody's asleep over here, and vice versa. So it kind of works well.
That's awesome. It's a good combo.
Well, if you want,
so
you guys, you 5 should start a podcast, and we can do a collab where we actually come on your show.
That'd be an idea. Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be pretty cool.
Well, I say the forum is called Cowboys Nation UK, and it's at the front and back of it. We've got like a Union flag, the Union Jack, and a Cowboy star. And we're also on Twitter. That's how Chris and his son discovered me, because I decided to set up a Twitter page because I thought, well, not everyone's on Facebook. And so we set that up, and that's just had its year anniversary just recently. And it's a bit more of a slow burner. The Facebook, we're up to about, I think the last count it was 1,277.
It's showing.
Facebook.
It's showing 1,300 now.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's at a jump.
What was the Facebook again?
And Facebook, Twitter rather, is showing. Well, it's heading up to 600
That's
in a year or something like that. So yeah, I mean, basically, I tend to put the news stories on it mostly, but anybody can contribute for anything they feel is interesting and whatever. And just the other guys kind of post stories here and there and police it. Or Daniel likes nothing better for reminding me if I posted a story in duplicate and taking it off, and I can hear him laughing every time he does it. He'll go, "Sorry, mate, you probably put this one on." I'm like, "Oh god, another one."
Well, if you want, you could share this podcast on your forum. That'd be great for us.
Oh, absolutely, we'll do. Totally, yes, not a problem at all. That'd be lovely. Yeah, no problem.
All right, Mark.
So it's going from strength to strength. Yeah, it's going really well.
We're gonna end this podcast, but I have one more thing for you. I'm gonna give you and Ty this segment because I saw in your post you're a huge Star Wars fan, and my son Tyler absolutely loves Star Wars.
I do.
I was there in 1977 as an 11-year-old.
Oh wow! Just curious, did you watch the Clone Wars TV show?
You know, I've only just started watching it because I've got the Disney Plus channel and I've never had access to it before, so I've only just started watching it in the last month or so.
Let me know when you finish that, because that was crazy.
Which one is it first? Is it Clone Wars first and then Rebels? Is it that one?
Yeah, that's basically how it goes. Yeah, but that fills in a lot of the gaps for Revenge of the Sith. So
this is what I've been told, because I mean I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to Star Wars, but the guy I sit next to in the office, oh my god, it's like I've never seen a film compared to the information he knows in his head.
Because like when you go from the movie before to Revenge of the Sith, there's like a huge gap that they just don't fill in. And the Clone Wars TV show fills everything.
This is what I've been told. Yeah.
See, you guys are blowing me away, because the last thing I watched was like The Return of the Jedi and The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, come on, get with the program, Slick.
And then you definitely got to watch the new Mandalorian show, because that's
watched it.
Okay.
I've literally watched that with my girlfriend Lisa, got her into it, and she was just blown away.
Because I heard Boba Fett and then Ahsoka from Clone Wars, they're going to be putting her in the second season of that show.
That's right. Yeah. And they're already, that's probably in a lot of it's in the books already, the second season.
Yes,
and they're already starting writing the third season.
That's amazing. I feel like we don't have enough time for this, because we could talk hours about this stuff.
Well, hey, Mark, we definitely.
You're not going away. We're just talking Star Wars now forever.
We definitely want to have you on again. You are our new UK connection.
I would absolutely love to, guys. It's been absolutely great. Yeah, totally.
And we could definitely go on there and talk about the Cowboys during the season and talk about our frustrations. Yeah. But is there anything else you want to promote? Anything in the future that you have planned coming up?
Other than the ice cream van interrupting me right now, if you can hear the music in the background. Stop playing your bells on your ice cream van. Anyway, so I was going to say... No, that's it. Really, like I say, as you said, I've got into the Cowboys in the '80s. This is my 36th year of being a Cowboys fan now. So
Awesome.
Yeah,
It was a
I've served my time.
pleasure talking with you, definitely.
And look at that,
thank you.
we had no phone interruptions. We all talked before about 5G and everything. It was a
Well, I'll tell
blessing.
you one thing quickly. It was really funny. Like I say, I chose the Cowboys and thought we'd go with it. And the first season I supported them, I think we went 3-13. So I was like, oh well, bad season. We'll be back better next year.
At least you
Went
stuck with them, though.
1-15 the next year. It's like, oh my lord, who have I chosen? And then one more year, and then we won the Super Bowl.
That was
Won
the
other.
Jimmy
And then
Johnson
the-
years.
you know.
Yep, that was the Jimmy
Exactly.
Johnson years.
That's
I remember
amazing.
that like it was yesterday.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that was awesome. I'm glad I stuck by them.
All right, Mark. Well, hey, thank you for your time. And like I said,
No, it's been a pleasure.
I'm on the forum now. We'll stay in touch,
yeah.
and we're definitely going to have you on again.
Absolutely.
We wish nothing
Oh,
but the best for
brilliant.
you and your significant other, and hope you guys stay safe
Thank you.
with the COVID.
Thank you. You too. You look after yourselves, both of you. Yeah.
Thank you.
God bless.
Okay, you too. God bless. See you then.
See you.
Well, that was
amazing.
awesome, man. That was
good.
Mark from the UK. I was kind of worried, hoping that the phone didn't break up, because the last time we had a guest on, we were having so many interruptions.
That was a great conversation. If my phone wasn't about to die, I would have had him on for a lot longer.
Yeah, for some reason the thing stopped again, but we'll get through those little niches. But it was a great podcast. It was a special Sunday edition. We have more guests coming on this week. I don't know.
Yeah, we do.
Speechless. I mean, I love it. That was awesome.
We hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. It'll be up on all platforms. Check out our Instagram page, our Twitter page, and our Facebook page. Show us some love. Share the podcast, and we hope you guys enjoy your week.
And check out the podcast. I mean, the Facebook page, the Cowboys UK. Cowboys Nation UK.
See you guys.